Awesome. All right. So I want to welcome everybody to tonight's WBL Credit Repair Mastermind. Okay. And really what we want to cover on this call tonight is just the steps involved with, getting started in the credit repair system with my econ. So we have a lot of people, actually a handful of people on the WBL Leaders team that have already started processing and preparing their letters. Some have already sent off their letters, and others have already seen their credit score increase. So I think it's pretty phenomenal that, there's so many people seeing results with my econ. And this is only like the first portion of it, which is that first round of letters. For those of you guys that don't know, if you haven't taken time to go into your back office, there is 4 rounds of letters that my econ actually provides to you. So every letter tackles a different phase in the process. And so we're not going to go into all 4 letters. We just really want to cover the basics and really how you want to just start getting things moving and really start taking action, when it comes to the product and the service that you've invested in. Because a lot of people get started, they sign up, and then they never do anything with the information that's being provided to them or with the training that's being provided to them. So we really want to just, do these calls once a week to encourage you guys, and to show you that we are here to answer questions. So it is our little mini mastermind, but it's really geared towards my econ and the system that my econ has in place. But first, what I'm going to do is pass it over to Jada. Jada Stats has been with my econ. I'll let her tell you her story, but she hasn't been with my econ that long yet, and she's already been able to increase her score by over I think it was 130 points, maybe 160 if I'm not mistaken. Had tons of debt removed already. So I'll let you take it away, Jada, and share your tips, nuggets, and just your getting started strategies.
Thank you, Marcy. Yeah, it's great to be on here. It's great to be sharing with you guys and, telling you guys, how this has been working for me. Basically, I haven't always had great credit. After I graduated from high school, I ended up getting a credit card, and I had no knowledge of credit at all. I didn't know how to build it. I didn't know how to really use my credit cards, nothing. And then basically I got one credit card, and I just blew it from there. I had a car. I ended up making my payments on time with my car. But then later on, I ended up having a car repossession after I got my second car. And this all leads to, just how awesome this system is. No matter what your background is with your credit, whether you have great credit, whether you have poor credit, mediocre credit, whatever it is, it's important to plug into this system because it's teaching you how to repair your credit, build your credit, how to maintain your credit, because your credit's not always going to be the same. It's not going to be the same from 2010 to 2019 to 2020. You're always going to have to be on top of your game, learning, how to remove things and all that stuff. So, like Marcia said, I have had a 130 point increase within less than 3 months. And I was blown away. Absolutely blown away. It's just been tips, plugging into the letters, and just plugging into the team. That's all it's been. And it's been simply easy. And the reason we're doing this right here is just so that we can break it down for you guys and make it so much easier. It's just going to be plug and play. You guys are going to be able to, just plug into these videos and take care of business. So, Marcy, if you want to add to that, I think my computer is breaking up, my internet.
No, you're good. Actually, you sounded great on my end. I don't know about everybody else if they heard you or not. Maybe they can do a little thumbs up. So yeah, it was pretty clear on my end. So really the first step that, I really want to go over is how to download your credit report. Okay. Now, obviously I can't create a mock person, or I can't come up with somebody that is not real, because I would love to take you guys through the actual steps just by putting someone's information in and step by step showing you. But I'm just going to share my screen and show you guys the website that you want to go to in order to retrieve your credit reports. Now I know I'm going to open up for Kimberly as well, and maybe even Julie and Jada if you want to kind of chime in. But I know when I downloaded my credit reports, I could only get 2 of them through annualcreditreport.com. So let me just share my screen with you guys. let me see. I'm probably going to have to open up Google. Oops. Let's go here. All right. So basically, where do I go to screen share? Tobias is coming on. Welcome, Tobias. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen. So basically, guys, obviously the requirement that we had for all of you, the team members that are in WeBuild Leaders, the requirement was for you to go into your back office and go through step 1 through 4. I mean, module 1 through 4. So I don't know how many of you guys, took the time to do that, but if not, that's okay. We're here now. And just in a nutshell, really, we want to just get to where you need to be, right? So if you go to www, can you guys see my screen? Just let me know. Okay, awesome. .annualcreditreport.com, okay? This is what the screen is going to look like, guys, okay? So you want to make sure that you go to this website to download your free credit report. Now, you only get one free credit report per year, okay? So this means that if you're gonna go ahead and pull this report, you can use this report and all the information that's on here for up to a year. I'm not sure if you can, I think if you go to like the actual credit bureaus and register for an account with them, I wanna say you can probably get, additional copies of it through the actual credit bureau. But again, with the My Econ Strategies and what they teach is, basically you want to go to annualcreditreport.com, and what you want to do is make sure that you scroll down to the bottom of the page, because I've had people ask me, well, there's no button that tells me like where to download, and then they click on about annualcreditreport.com, and that's not where you want to go. So you want to scroll down and you'll see a red button down here that says request your free credit report. And once you click it, it's going to take you through a 3-step process, guys, okay? So it's pretty simple. It's really, really easy. You just have to follow the steps. The first one is obviously to go ahead and fill out the form. Now, when you click on that, it's going to ask you for some basic information. It's going to ask you for, your first and last name, your date of birth, your social security, your address, all of that good stuff. And then, of course, how many years you've lived there. And then you just click next. Okay, now it's not going to allow me to go to the next tab because I am not filling out this entire form. But basically, step 2, which we're going to go back here really quick. Step 2 is where you will then go ahead and request each individual credit report from each credit bureau. Now, for me, I think it was Equifax. Equifax did not provide my credit report to me, so I don't know if anybody wants to chime in here on how you guys obtained mine, but somehow all I did was I used, because last year they allowed me to do Equifax, Experian and TransUnion. And then when I went back this year to request the credit report, it allowed me to grab Equifax. So I thought that was weird. So I basically used my Experian and TransUnion credit report from last year, and then the Equifax report that I was able to gather from the new year. And I just went ahead and did my letters that way. But if anybody else has any other tips on how they can get it, I'll unmute Kimberly. There you go.
With the annual credit report, you can do it every 6 months.
Oh, awesome. So I didn't even know that. Okay. So it's every 6 months.
Yeah. I was able to get all 3 of mine. I've actually tried to do my sister's and her boyfriend's, and Experian wasn't working. But if you keep going back and just trying to get that one, you can do it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I know you.
If you got the other 2, you won't be able to get those until the next 6 months. But the one that you haven't, you'll be able to get it if it allows you to.
If it allows you, yeah.
You can also call the credit bureaus and they'll mail you.
Do you want to say that on the webinar? Odie said, she's over here next to me. She's like, she said basically that you can also call the credit bureaus directly and request it from them, and they'll mail it out to you, right? So that's another option as well. But like I said,
I've been having an issue with for somebody else. It's Equifax, filling out the questions, and then you have to mail them your ID, your social, like your address to
Yeah.
prove who you are so we can send it, but we haven't gotten anything back. So
that's interesting. Yeah, something similar happened to Odie because her sister's social and her social are so close together. Like the only difference between each of their socials is just the last number. And then their names are so close together. Hers is Odelkis, the sister is Odelmis. Don't ask me. So it was so close together. And so she ended up disputing, obviously, her sister's identity or sister's social and name was on her credit report. But was that with Equifax or was it with Experian that you?
It was Experian. But
Experian.
when I was putting her report on the annual credit report, it wouldn't allow me to do her information because it was putting up my private information to her profile.
Oh, because you try to pull her reports to help her with her credit, and it was pulling your reports instead. Okay, so that's where that happened. So then I guess she has to, send in a letter and do all that stuff. So basically, guys, we want to, cover some of the hiccups that you might come across and be able to offer some solutions. I don't know if there's any questions from you guys just with this step alone. Feel free to unmute yourselves and just ask away since you have us here at your disposal. If there's no questions, then, we can move on to the next. But I really just wanted to show you the very first step, guys, is to go to annualcreditreport.com. And like Kimberly said, it's available to you every 6 months. You can come to this website and you can pull, a new credit report. So I guess what I would recommend then is as you're working on your credit, and going through these steps, give it that 6 months, for things to either fall off, collections to come off, for your points to increase and what have you. And then maybe in 6 months time again, you can come in and pull another report. And that's a great way for you to also keep track of that. Someone else recommended a credit monitoring tool. And I think it was Jada, because my econ actually does offer that credit monitoring tool as well. I don't know if there's anybody using that. I know I'm not. So did you ever
Marcy,
get it? Yes, Julie, go ahead.
I just wanted to add that everybody will not have an issue with not getting all 3 of their reports. Some people will get all 3 of their reports the first time. So so don't be discouraged, thinking, oh great, I don't want to deal with it because I'm only going to get 2 reports. Just go for it because you might. I got all 3 reports without any problem. And
Awesome.
then the credit monitoring companies, there's a couple out there. One that I've used in the past that a lot of you are already using is Credit Karma, and it's free. But there's also another one called Credit Wise, and that's also a free one. A lot of times you can get that directly. It's offered through some of your credit card companies like Capital One. But I do recommend the one that my econ offers. It's $24 for 6 months or $34 for a year, and I highly recommend it. Yeah, because it's good to have everything under one system. And I do know from we buy a lot of cars. I mean, a lot. when we
living your best life, Julie.
Yeah, when we need tires, we just go get a new car. So anyway, we've probably purchased 6 cars in the last 4 years, and every time we've gone off of what Credit Wise says or what Credit Karma says, and every time we go in, they always tell us that they're not accurate in our credit report. Our credit scores are actually higher by 10 to 20 points over and above what Credit Karma or Credit Wise says.
Interesting. I've heard that one before as well, when it comes to credit. So if you get the credit monitoring tool, it's 10 times more accurate, obviously, versus going off of these free, platforms. Okay. Yeah. So that's good. And honestly, 34 for the whole year is not bad to be able to, if you're serious about getting your credit fixed and checking on it. And, I know I'm so excited actually, because I know Kimberly's also going to share some nuggets and some things that her grandmother taught her and how to get those scores over 700. So that's good, but I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. What I'm going to do is, Jada, I don't know if you are able to go over, because Parker's not on yet. And the next step was really how to review your report. But I don't know if we have a mock report or something that maybe we can pull up from Google. Or if you had anything, I know this was kind of part.
There's a sample. There's a sample report, and I'm just now trying to pull it up.
Awesome. All right, cool stuff.
So,
and you can share from your end, right? To kind of show everybody
Yes, no
Okay.
problem at all.
All right, awesome.
I'm just actually taking a look at this real quick because I've never actually looked at this sample report before.
Okay.
Let's see.
So does anybody have any questions so far? Diane, Tobias, Nani, you have any questions? Oh, Danny Alonzo. No? All right. So
Hold on one second. I'll go ahead and start sharing my screen. Marcy.
okay, awesome. No problem.
There it is. I couldn't find you guys where I was out of it for a minute. All right. So this is going to look kind of different than what your report's going to look like. Let me know, thumbs up, if you guys can see what I'm looking at. Okay, awesome. So basically this is an example of Experian. And what you see here at the very top is going to be your either your social, your report number, your name, different things like that, the report date. And then as we scroll down here, let's see. Also, it's showing an index. I don't actually use that at all, but it's showing step 2 an index, like if you haven't saved it maybe as a PDF yet, where you can actually like click on those and get to where you need to go. But your first thing that you definitely want to do is just save it as a PDF, like Marcy was showing you whenever you get your credit reports. And then let's see. I'm guessing this is just like an example of like what would be on their credit report. So 3 is like a potentially negative item. It's showing public records. You'll see the creditor or the company that is on your collections. It'll say like this one right here is Maine County Clerk. You'll see the address. You'll see the identification number, which I'm guessing that would be the account number. And all of them are going to be kind of different as far as like going through different reports like TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. Like I've told Marcy before, whenever I was putting my letters together, I found that Equifax wouldn't have an account number, but Experian would. So as long as you are matching the collection up, you can use either account number to put onto your reports. So you'll be able to see like the date that you opened an account, the date that it was maybe paid off, the date that like it'll show everything on there. So you just want to take all of those dates and plug them into those to the Google Sheets document or the Excel sheet that we'll show you here later. And you just basically want to take all this information, the dates, the name of the company, all this stuff, and plug it into those to the Excel sheet. And then also you're going to see, this is another example, just a collections. You'll be able to see that, let's see, let's go from the top. So ABCD banks, you'll get the collection company, then you'll get the address, and then you'll get the account number. You want to definitely make sure that whenever you're looking at these, you want to take like a Post-it note, or you take a notepad or something like that, and write each of this each section of this and write it down, so that way you have all that information, and then you can plug it into that Excel sheet that we were telling you about. You can see date opened, you can see the type of loan, it's showing an installment loan, and of course, like once you see the collection agency name, you're going to be like, oh, I know what that's for. So you're not going to be confused on anything. Once you see it, you see the payment amounts, things like that, you're going to know what it's for, unless it's maybe something that's fraudulent, and you definitely want to make sure that you get those taken off as well. But you'll see like your term amount, that basically just means like how much of the agreed, like your agreement, how long that term was supposed to be for. You can see the data status, your monthly payments, how much they were supposed to be. The responsibility is meaning like if it was an individual responsibility, or if it was like a joint loan or something like that. A joint loan will mean like if someone else is on the loan with you. And then your account history. So it'll say like 60 days late as of and 30 days late. So for example, with this, if you have any late day payments, you want to make sure that you're writing those down as well, because we have a goodwill letter where you guys can actually, fill out a letter stating that you've only been late one time or this many times or whatever, and you want to try and get those taken off. So basically just make sure you're writing down like how many days you guys have been late, and see if you're eligible for that goodwill letter. And then just kind of like the same thing you guys see here. It's another company. I wish it was like it was somebody's actual credit report that I was looking at, because it's like not really giving you great information on this example. But another thing that you guys want to take a look at, I'm sitting here trying to look for it. You're going to have a date that will be listed on your reports where it's actually going to say expected to be removed by this certain date. So if you're wondering, like, it's an account that should be already taken off, like after 7 years, your collection should be removed. And there should be a date on there saying it should have been removed at this date. And you can actually like take a look at that on your credit report and know that that's something that you need to put on your letters. And I'm kind of just falling down through here. Yeah, you have account in good standing. You want to make sure that you guys are looking at that. See number 5 right here. Basically, you're going to know whether or not your accounts are actually going to be in collections or not. If they're in good standing, if you're paying as agreed, and things like that. So you definitely want to make sure that you're looking at that. And the type of account, like I said before, you want to make sure that you know what type of account you're looking at, whether it's an installment loan, if it's a credit card, anything like that. And you're actually, once you see the names of the creditors and things like that, you'll probably know what those are for.
And also, guys, the reason that now this example is actually coming from the Smart Money Kit, correct? This is actually a sample that is within the MyEcon system. Pretty often, because eventually, obviously, once you start seeing some success and you want to really start growing your business, you can use this example even to, train some people to really get started with their credit. But really, the reason that all of these things are kind of pointed out here is because if you guys are, take a look at this spreadsheet, they actually have a spreadsheet available for you where you're going to plug all of this information into that spreadsheet, which is going to make completing that dispute letter so easy, because you're literally just transferring information from a spreadsheet over into your letter. So we'll go into that a little bit later, but I just want to let you guys know that that's the reason that all of these different things is important to look at, and of course you want to make sure your personal information is correct too. So I'm going to stop right there and have you continue on, Jada.
Okay. Another thing is that you're also going to be disputing or you're going to be verifying different things like your personal information. So that's one of the first things that I start with whenever I'm looking at my credit report. I first look at how many different names are they reporting on my credit report. So your name could be okay, I'll use my name as an example, Jada Stats. They'll have like on my credit report, they had Jada I Stats, and my middle initial is T. So obviously that's wrong. They had my middle initial as I. And you want to you'll see a name identification number. And instead of using an account number, you're going to use that name identification number, and you're going to plug that into your letters as an account number. And you're just going to list your name like you would the creditors. So basically, you want to make sure you're looking at your names. You want to make sure you're looking at your addresses. You want to make sure that there's no incorrect information on your reports, because it affects you. Anytime that you move, your credit score goes down. If they report a new address, it makes your credit go down. So I'm not sure yet if if you get an address removed, if it actually bumps your credit score up or not, because I had over 20 items that I reported and none of them were addresses. So that's something that I'm going to have to go back on and do. But if anybody has reported an address, chime in and let me know how that worked for you, if, you've seen a credit increase from that.
Yeah, I like how all the names and the addresses have identification numbers. So you're not going to put the actual name then on the dispute letter, right?
Yeah, I actually just put it in as a collection, like as like the collection agency. I just put my name in and then the identification number and then
Okay.
just put unverified.
Okay. And I think what this would be a good time maybe to go over like the spreadsheet, and then I don't know if you want to touch on that, and then we can have Odie kind of show where
That's just
all
fine.
the items go in, because now it kind of flows in, so they can see like.
Yeah, there's just one more thing that I wanted to touch on really quick was
Okay,
inquiry.
awesome.
I don't see it on here. I think it may have been up here, but your soft inquiries, they're going to stay on your credit report. But your hard inquiries are the ones that actually count. Your soft inquiries aren't going to show up for anyone but you whenever you pull your own credit report. So you don't have to worry about those, but the hard inquiries, you want to make sure that you are challenging every single one of them to get taken off of your credit report, and you'll be able to see it. It'll actually list like hard inquiries. But so you want me to go into the spreadsheet?
That spreadsheet, yes.
Okay.
So they can, I see it right there. Is that this credit dispute? No.
Oh, is it right here?
Yeah, the credit dispute spreadsheet. I see it up there. So I'm like, yay, she can go in it.
I'm hoping that's it. No.
It's the one right next to that.
Okay. I couldn't see because I got a bar up here that says stop sharing.
All
And
right.
I clicked on it. Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, see, here's the thing. I was talking to a lady the other day in Messenger, and she's with like another credit repair company. And, she was with my ecom before. And, she said, well, people don't have the time to do X, Y, Z, this, that, and the third. But guys, like, if you look at the big picture here, right, and you really see this as not only an opportunity for you to learn this, to be able to do it yourself instead of paying, because you're always going to have to stay on top of your credit. You can get things removed, but you're always going to have to be consistently working on your credit. So why not just learn the skill, right, to be able to always go in there every 6 months or so and do what it is you have to do versus paying, because her company, the new company that she's with, it was charging like $200 upfront and then $80 a month. It's like, and then, she was saying that they would do everything for you, but it's still kind of like you don't have the control, So what my econ is really doing is putting you in that driver's seat, but then also allowing you to even long term, because we've had a lot of associates, a lot of customers that have now become associates that have turned this into an actual business. And they're charging people, to do this kind of thing for them and things like that. So just know that, yes, might seem like a lot for some of you. I know that Tobias is one of those people that gets overwhelmed pretty easily. I don't see his face in there, but just know that, it's simple steps, and you just kind of go through the steps and just pace yourself. So anyways, sorry, Jada, go ahead.
Oh, you're just fine. So anyways, with the spreadsheet, I'm sure that I think Odie is going to go through and show you guys how to actually download these forms and where to go. But once you get these forms downloaded, you're going to come across this spreadsheet. And basically, like how I was showing you how to read your credit report, this is where you're going to go to and plug all this information in. You're going to get your creditor name, your account number, and you're going to list whether it's a foreclosure, late payment, collections, and all you have to do is just plug in the number, and I believe it'll just like pop up whichever one. So you can make like a list of list them by numbers, like on a notepad, and then actually just plug a number in and it'll come up. You can list it as your letter sent, the date that it was mailed, the status. You can use these drop-down keys, and it'll tell you whether, like, you can put on there it's pending, it's been verified, it's been closed. So this all right here just helps you to stay organized, and it's a great way to just, like I said, just be organized. And then you also want to plug in like the creditor's address. Even though you may not be sending your letters to the creditors right now, you may end up having to send a letter eventually to that creditor. And if you just come over here to the spreadsheet, you're just going to have to plug right into here, and you'll find that address. And everything's just right here, and it's so user-friendly. If I go down right here, I want to show you, if you're not experienced using like Google Sheets or Excel, we have these tabs down here, and you're going to see Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And this is how we separate our reports. So you can click on any one of these right here, and it's going to bring up all the information for that report. So when you go to do your Experian, you want to plug into that Experian tab and then plug your information in. And then that way, everything you have on Experian is going to be right there. I think there's another tab right here, and you can basically put everything down. You can like wipe this out right here where it says Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And you can take that out and just put in all your collections, all the different account collection agency names, and then the account numbers and the dates that you pulled them. And you can copy that information and plug it into your other tabs over here as you go. So it's something that's just kind of like copy and paste, just as you go through it. And it's really just user friendly. I absolutely love it.
That's awesome.
But yeah, Marcy, you can go ahead and
yeah, absolutely. It's really, like she said, it's copy and paste. The letters are done for you. You don't have to think about, what to put in the letters. I don't know if you want to stop share on your end,
yeah,
Jada.
definitely.
It's all the tools are there. So with everything that we just said, I'm going to have Odie just kind of go into her back office. Let me actually I'll just go into my econ right now before my econ, and I'll have Odie just show you guys exactly where you can find this. So, sorry, I just gave her a look and she's tested me over here, talking about I don't know, just trying to be difficult. So, let me go ahead and share my screen, and I'll have Odie come on over. All right, let's go. We'll change shifts. Don't break the computer. Okay, what do I do with it? All right, everybody can hear you. Hi.
Hey guys. Hold on.
Make sure that you're not muted.
Can you fix something on the screen?
Marcy, if you're sharing a screen, I can't see it. I don't know if it's just me. It may just be me.
Oh, right there. So now you're on it. Okay. Can you guys see?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so basically to get those letters, you would just go to my credit system on your back office, and you will click on the first option where it says my credit system. And it's going to be, click on where it says 750 credit plan. And then you're going to scroll down all the way to module 5. And it's going to be the second option where it says credit dispute letters on the docs, right?
Yeah, docs. .xy, because the PDF is obviously won't allow you to edit it. So that opens up into a Word document that you can actually edit.
Yeah. And then once you guys open the letters, just click enable editing. And then if you scroll down, you're going to see it's going to be the first letter. Let me see right here. Yeah. So make sure whatever is red that you guys fill out your information, like your name, address, social, date of birth, the address of the credit bureau, which you can find that in, I think it's module 3 or 2. And then you guys put the account, the name of the account number, and the provider verification.
So you leave it as unverified account?
Yeah, well, the letter that I've sent, I've just left it as unverified account. And then for account number, what I've done, if I don't have the account number, I would just put like either if it's a hard inquiry or depending on what the debt is.
You mean like the type of debt?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can put 20. You can dispute 20 to give you the option for 20. So all you gotta do is just add.
You'll just add the tabs.
Yeah, add tabs, and then just make sure you put information. Make sure everything is in black. Don't leave anything dark.
So you can only dispute up to 20 items, guys. Okay, so you cannot put more than 20 items. If you go through the training videos, it's going to basically tell you or give you all this information, but we're kind of saving you guys the time here. You know, with it, I would still recommend, obviously, if you're on this call, you were required to go through, you know, module 1 and 4, but you can only dispute up to 20. There's a chat right there if you want to just click on that thing that's blinking.
Hey, Marcy, I don't think we can see the letters if you're looking at them.
Okay, so go to share screen, Odie. Click on share, no, what is that? Share screen right here. Okay, and then click here because they have to see that. So they weren't even able to see the letters. So scroll up. Sorry, guys.
All right, so when you guys click on the letter, you're gonna see where it says dispute letter number 1. That's the first letter you guys are gonna send. On the top of the letter, you're gonna put your information, name, address, your social, date of birth, whatever day you're doing the letters, and then the credit bureau's information.
Sorry,
once you're done with that, make sure you guys don't leave those words in red. Then you'll scroll down, and that's where you're gonna see all the tabs where you can put all your information, like the account name, and the numbers and the verification.
Or the creditor, yeah?
Yeah. So what I've done for my letters, if I don't have an account number, I would just put the type of, like if it's like a hard inquiry or if it's like a collection. So, and then you can add more tabs because you can add up to 20. Yeah, that's basically
So what do they have to, you're going to show them where that it has to be notarized, right?
Yeah, make sure you guys, once you guys are done with putting all your information on the top, make sure you guys delete the red part. Don't print out your letters. And then just like this part. And then this, what I did for my letters, I made it into 3 letters. So like the first part, it will be this. The first letter will be this, including the rest of the tabs. And it ends on the signature. And then I'll just space it to where this part is for the notary. It will be on the separate sheet, so it wouldn't look so tacky, like both information just in one letter.
Everything all together.
Yeah.
And obviously, where it says your name, you guys want to make sure that you delete that and put your name in there.
Yeah. Just actually, the notary will fill this out.
Okay, so you delete that.
Yeah, just delete it and space it out so the person can have room. And then the notary will come and then put your name there and then your driver's license number above your name.
Now, guys, notary, you can get a free notary service from your bank. So don't think that you have to spend extra money to get your letters notarized. If you have a bank account with any bank, usually in most cases, the bank has a notary that works at the bank. So
and it's free. So
yeah, and it's free. Yeah.
So just make sure, depending on how long your name is, make sure you leave enough space for your first and last name and enough space also so they can put your driver's license above it. And then that's it. And then the person's going to fill out the bottom part right here, and then they're going to put their stamp here, and you'll be all set. Oh, and make sure when it comes to letter number 2, you space it out. Because if you print the letters out, you're going to have this part of the letter with this saying dispute letter number 2.
Yeah.
So give it enough space.
Put on another sheet.
Yeah. So it comes out like just 3 letters.
Okay, awesome.
That's about it.
And then there's instructions there, guys. Go all the way to the top. There's actually instructions above this document right here that actually tells you, again, step by step, what you need to do. What are the ID documents that you want to include? You want to have 2 forms of ID when sending off your letters. 2.
Yeah, make sure you guys send 2 because you sent ID. 1. Because I guess I just didn't read the letter completely. And I just saw ID. Okay, driver's license. So.
So yeah, our letters got sent off with just the driver's license, and we hope that that's sufficient. But at least we know when we send up dispute letter number 2, it's going to be 2, right? So it can be a water bill.
It's been sufficient because I've already got a response in 2 weeks from some of the credit bureaus. So
yeah. So yeah, like utility bill, water bill, that a pay stub plus a copy of a government issued ID. you know, or things like that. So any two of those that are listed here as, you know, forms of ID. So is there any questions, guys? Because, I mean, I feel like this is pretty much it. This is as far as we're going to go. And then we're going to have Kimberly also, you know, come on and share, you know, some nuggets and some things that, you know, her grandma helped her with.
I was just going to add really quick to make sure that you do 2 copies of each letter, one for the credit or one for the bureaus that you're sending it to, and make a copy for yourself as well for your, you know, just for you to have that proof that you actually sent it to them.
Did you make copies?
Yes.
Look at me over here checking with Odie. Like, did you make copies? You sent one ID document? No.
And also, you could probably go to a library and get a notary for free as well.
Good. Yep. I'm glad you mentioned that. Absolutely. Okay. So, Kimberly, if you're ready.
And it has to be a letter for each credit bureau.
Oh, okay. So, and guys, of course, it has to be a letter for each credit bureau. So, you got to make sure that, I mean, you're sending off 3 letters to 3 different credit bureaus, and you're going to make sure. Now, here's the thing. Now, some of the information crosses over. Let's say TransUnion might have accounts that is not listed on Experian. So you don't want to use, let's say you look at TransUnion and you have all the account numbers and the creditors or whatever, and then you just copy and paste from that letter onto the letter that's going to go to.
Because it won't be the same.
Because it's not, exactly, it's not going to be the same. So it's, you know, each letter is going to be different for each credit bureau. All right. So let's go ahead and unmute Kimberly. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I'll let you kind of come in with your golden nugget, because I'm excited to hear this golden nugget too. Because this girl's score is in the 700. She's heading over to 750 club.
Hell yeah. On the credit report, I didn't even put the creditor's name. I put my name.
Score.
Hey, it all came off, so whatever.
You still got your score up to set. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, you still got stuff removed, and that's amazing. So okay, so we're good. Yeah.
Hey, whatever. One of them told me that they weren't gonna take it off, but then they did. And then
they did.
Like, you still have a $400 fee.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
Yeah. Oh man. So what's your golden nugget, Kimberly? What is, what was the advice that your grandma gave you?
About interest was, I didn't understand interest because when I bought my car, my payments are $290. So I didn't understand that when I was making the payment, I was only paying $100 and something on the actual car, and then more on the interest.
Oh.
Like, what the heck? So she explained it to me, because if you're only paying $290, if you're only paying the minimum payment, it's going to take you forever to even pay that off, and it's going to be double the price at the end of when you're paying it off. So if you like in the system, you're getting more money back in your paycheck, you want to put more money down on the monthly payment so your interest will go down and you'll be able to pay it off quicker.
So we want to make sure that even if we're repairing the credit and getting things removed, whatever debt has been verified or whatever open accounts we do have that we're actively paying, credit cards, car notes, things like that, pay $50 more or $100 more on the payment. Yeah. So that's a huge nugget. I don't know if anybody else knew that. Julie, I don't know if you have some nuggets, maybe just some personal experience, knowledge that you want to share with everybody on the call tonight about credit. Thanks, Kimberly.
Sure. Thank you, Kimberly. Yeah, that's a really, really good nugget there, Kimberly. And one way that you can also pay off those verified debts faster is you can go on and you can learn the method online if you just type in Dave Ramsey debt snowball. And so that's Dave Ramsey debt snowball. And so say you have 4 bills, and one bill is a credit card, and you owe $200 on it. And your second bill is a clothing store credit card, and you owe $400 on that one. And your next one is a car payment, and you owe $12,000 on that one. And then you have a mortgage, and you owe $100,000 on that one. So what you do is you put them in order just like that, from the lowest amount to the highest amount of total debt owed. And you make your minimum payment on all of them. But on your smallest one, whatever money you have extra at the end of the month, you put all that you have extra into your payment on that smallest bill. Get that $200 bill paid off. And so let's say that that's $10 a month. So you're paying $10 a month on that one, and you actually have an extra $50 a month. So you're really going to pay $60 a month on that. Okay, pay off that $200, and then the next, when you paid that one off, your next bill, your next highest bill, you've been paying minimum payments on that one, but now you have an extra $60 because you're not paying $10 on your other bill anymore, and you're not paying the extra $50 on your other bill anymore. So you're going to pay the minimum on your second bill, plus you're going to add that $60 that you were paying on the other first bill that you already paid off, and you're just going to keep on rolling up. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Okay.
Does anybody have questions about that? I really love that, honestly. Like, that's some good knowledge though to have. Danny, how are you feeling with all the information so far and everything else? I mean, are you feeling like it's going to be easy for you to go into your back office and actually log in? Yeah? Awesome. I feel like Julie has some more nuggets up her sleeve. I want her to share some more.
Oh, I was just going to share the...
I knew it.
Sorry. So I was just going to share that I'm personally just now getting started with my econ, and I just went in when you gave us the instructions the other day to download my credit reports and to get started on this. And I'm super excited because I'm going to be buying some property in Idaho here in a couple of months. And I know based on the other testimonies and the experience that my other team members have had, that I'm definitely going to be walking in with a higher credit score. So I was talking to my husband this afternoon, and I told him I'm going to do this with my credit, and I'm going to get it all set up. Now, we have a lot of joint credit, but we're individuals, so we also have separate credit. And so I told him I was going to do mine, and as soon as I was done getting my letter sent off for mine, I was going to go ahead and download his credit reports. And he said, well, don't wait on mine. I'm tired of being that short, fat guy with a low credit score.
Ooh.
Do you guys remember the commercial a few years back where they had 3 guys standing right next to each other, and there was like 2 tall guys and then a really short, fat guy, and he had like a 400 credit score, and then the next guy had like a 650, and the next guy had like a 750. And so they would say, don't be the short, fat guy with the low credit score. So my husband says, I'm tired of being the short, fat guy with the low credit score. So anyway, I just want to say I'm really excited. I'm happy to be part of the team and support, and I'm excited about my econ. And in all honesty, I don't know if very many people are on this call that aren't with my econ yet, but if you are not with my econ, I highly, highly, highly recommend changing your mindset, because Jada came to me about my econ like somewhere between 4 and 6 months ago. And I just kind of turned my nose up at it. And I was like, I'm not really interested in, I think it's just fake. You know, I didn't really trust the system. And then Jada started showing results, and she came to me again with it. And I was like, okay, you know, that's good. And I trust Jada, but I just still really wasn't game to join the system. And then she came to me a third time, and she was persistent, but she was not pushy. And so she's like, hey, I was just thinking about you, and I just wanted to share with you that, you know, my credit score has increased by this, and it's really helping my family, and we bought this beautiful home. And she did. They bought a beautiful home. If you haven't seen pictures, ask her to show you. It's a beautiful, beautiful home. And seriously, I was like, okay, Jada, I'll take a look. And she took me on a tour through the back office, and she shared it with me. And right that minute, I was like, here's my $50. Well, it was $50 at the time when I did it. Now it's only $19.95. So, I mean, it's really something you want to jump on for sure. So, and if you're paying $19.95 plus $34 a month for the system, don't just let that money come out of your bank account and not use the system. That's ridiculous. I mean, that's costing you money. You're trying to fix your credit here, not pay more, you know, for stuff. That's silly. So anyway, credit's everything. I was actually asking about printing out the reports because my reports are 92 pages each. And Parker was saying, wow, that's a lot of credit history. And I was like, well, you know, I'm 53 years old. When you're 53 years old and you have that many pages. But the one thing that I can say is that out of those 92 pages, I only have one late payment and one hospital collection. And that's it. And then I've got 8 hard inquiries. And so I'm going after those hard inquiries. That's my goal. And so
those make a huge difference too. Those make a huge difference too, I've heard. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, Julie, you're phenomenal. Such a rock star. And I appreciate you guys all, Kimberly coming in, sharing her nugget and her tidbit. You know, Julie, you as well, you know, stepping in. And just to all of you guys that, you know, showed up to the call tonight, because that's the biggest thing, guys, is just show up. You know, that's the first step to you taking the next step, and then so on and so on. You know, even if you guys are busy, you got crazy schedules going on, but you guys are making the time to show up and really take it seriously. Take your finances seriously, really, because it's not about me. It's not about anybody else in this call. It's about you. It's about what you're going to do with your finance and your credit. So any questions, guys? If there are none, I hope we gave enough value, at least to get the process started for you. We'll try to do these every Wednesday. I think next week we're going to go dive in maybe a little bit deeper into the process. And, you know, hopefully you guys can bring your letters or show us that you've already filled out your letters or you've sent off the letters. When you send your letters off, please take some pictures, like, of the envelopes, you know, with the stamp on it. Oh, when you send those letters off, certified mail, right, guys? Certified mail. You want to make sure you send it off certified mail. So that's huge. Guys, you have a week to get these letters going, okay? We're giving you a week. We're coming back here next Wednesday, and I want to see Danny, Tobias, Diane is on, Nani. You've been with my econ way too long to not, you know, have your letter sent off. So I'm excited. So yeah, we'll be back here next week. Yes.
Real quick, that certified, when you do certified, don't do paper return receipt. It costs like an extra $2. Do electronic return receipt, and they'll send you, you can actually log in with your certified number through the USPS website.
Oh, that's the card thing that she was asking me about when I went to do the certified. She's like, oh, do you want the card? And I was like, no, I don't want a card. So I guess, like, I don't need, you know, but yeah, so that's
costs more money.
She did mention the cost as well. So, okay, cool stuff, guys. So hopefully we get you guys we got you guys started and got you motivated. And again, if you have questions, we have a 24/7 team chat. We have a Facebook group. We have training. We have all the support there. You know, so definitely reach out to us for any additional questions. And we'll see you guys back here next week. Feel free to invite your leads, guys, to these calls, because we want potential customers to see the value that they're going to get when they come and join my econ. Okay, so definitely do that. And yeah, we're signing off. I'll put this up on YouTube. Love you guys. Bye.